I'm going to show you two different ways to work with transparency inside of Illustrator, and we're also going to take a trip to Photoshop. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about this guy right here. This is the transparency panel. What we're going to do is we're going to create two objects. Alright, so just grab your rectangle and draw one shape, give it a color of your choice, and on top of that guy, we can make sure we're in normal mode here for drawing if you want. Let's create a star. Once again, stars are my favorite thing in the world, evidently. I'll go ahead and give this guy a green color. Now I'll overlap them like so. And you'll notice that when we click on either object, we see the preview right here. So it's kind of helpful to know which one you're going to make transparent. With the star selected, we see we have an opacity slider. I can go to the opacity slider and dial the opacity of this star down so I can see through it and I can see the rectangle. This technique is useful when you want to create glass effects, eyeglasses, a ghost, or anything. You can even use it to try to simulate subsurface scattering, which is kind of like when you hold your hand up to a flashlight and you can partially see through it. So you can make believe like this is the webbing of your finger and the darker part of your finger is going to be darker, and then you have the light coming through here. So that's one way to work with transparency, and as you can see, pretty easy. But what if you want to bring in something that looks more pixelated, but still want to have transparency and bring it into your design? Well, I'm going to hop over to Photoshop, and I'm going to show you something pretty cool. We're going to choose a new document, and I'm going to just lower the resolution of this so it's a little faster for this demonstration here. I'm also going to make the size of this image smaller as well. So 5 by 5. The magic part to this whole trick is right here. Background contents. Transparent is what you want it to say. Hit OK. And for those of you who've never seen Photoshop before, you might be wondering why we see this checkerboard pattern when I selected transparent. Well, this is Photoshop's way of telling you that there's really nothing here. This transparency is just a nice way of saying there's nothing here instead of having a big white space. So I'm going to grab my brush and I'm going to grab a color. Let's say something yellowish so we can see it in this document. And I'll just paint something abstract, something like this, okay? No particular shape at all. Now don't forget, this area is transparent. So the trick is we want to bring it into Illustrator and have all of this area transparent and just see the yellow on top of this star. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and on my desktop, I'll just call it yellow. And I'm going to leave it as a PSD, a Photoshop document. I'll save it, and then we're done. We'll head back to Illustrator. And let's go to File, Place, and let's choose that yellow, and check it out. You can now see completely through this thing, even on the white areas. So use this technique when you want to create some very sophisticated effects. You can use this for like tornadoes or smog or smoke or anything that you can then bring into your Illustrator document and have a nice transparent effect.